Welcome to my new channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to actually age backwards. We're going to be talking about biohacking. We're going to talk about peptides, hormones, gut health. We're going to be talking about all the things that are going to actually help you biologically age backwards. Even if you're over 40, even if you're over 70, or maybe you're still in your 20s and 30s and you just want to get ahead of it, this channel is for you. So on this video specifically, I want to talk to you guys about hormone replacement therapy, peptide replacement therapy, how to actually get rid of that stubborn belly fat, and even gut health. So why should you listen to this girl? So first of all, I'm a retired internal medicine RN. So that's my background. I went to university, got my bachelor degree in nursing, worked as a registered nurse in internal medicine for years in the hospital. Fast forward, I became a stay-home mom with 4 little kiddos, and my late husband actually ended up developing colon cancer. He passed away, which was super traumatic. During that time, I was taking care of him for about 3 years. So I learned a lot about the system. Hindsight's 2020. So there's a lot of things I know now that I didn't know back then. So this is a big mission I have now, is to help people, women and men, prevent these types of things from happening, because he passed away when he was only 37 years old. We live in such an amazing era now where we have more tools and more research than ever before. Thankfully, because of AI, we are growing and we are evolving faster than the traditional medical system. There's just a lot more tools that we have access to and information we have access to now that we didn't have a few years ago. So I wanted to create a brand new channel dedicated just to this. Some of you know me from the Feminine Energy Academy or from my Mia Dora brand, my Mia Dora YouTube page. My husband and I talk about relationships, and I'm a hormone coach. I'm a certified hormone coach as well. So I do a lot of teaching on that channel, but I wanted to have a separate channel that was completely dedicated to just geeking out, and where I could just talk to you guys about the hardcore science and research, the latest science, the latest research, the latest things that you can do to literally age backwards and prevent a lot of these things from happening. And you get to look and feel amazing, which is the best part. So even fast forward, so now 6 years later, I'm remarried to the love of my life, the most amazing man I've ever met, Coach B. We moved. So now we're living in the US, living our best life with our kids. This is a big part of what I do now, is helping people with their hormones and just longevity, promoting longevity. Let's jump into it. One thing I want you all to understand is, as you get older, certain hormones and peptides decrease naturally. Things like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, those things naturally decline over time. But also things like NAD, glutathione, GHK, Cu, copper peptide, naturally decreases over time. We have thousands of peptides that decrease over time, and we have many hormones, but those are the main hormones that really decrease over time. And the reason why I want you to start just becoming aware of your body and what it's doing is because that's what's driving everything. That's what's driving how you feel, your mood, your ability to focus, your energy, your libido, the strength, how your body looks, where the fat is deposited versus where the muscle is deposited, how your hair is growing, how your skin is, if it's tight or loose. All of that is controlled by your hormones and these peptides. Back in the day, all these things would be decreasing, right? So our hormones would be decreasing. Women would be going to perimenopause, menopause. Even for guys, as they get older, the testosterone goes down, the estrogen levels can go up. And a lot of times it's because of stress cortisol. And that can affect so many other things in the body. Another hormone, a big hormone that I want you to really start paying attention, really learning and understanding, is insulin. So insulin is that fat storage hormone. It's going to take all the sugar that you're eating and it's going to put it into cells. Now, over time, because of our diet, our lifestyle, stress, just lowering of hormones that happen as you get older, most people, most Americans especially, but most Westerners become insulin resistant. What does that mean? That means that your insulin is not working properly. That means you got a bunch of hormone belly fat. That means that your liver is probably not working properly anymore. The fatty liver happens. Your liver enzymes might be going up. Your cholesterol might be going up. These are all related to each other. The other reason why I want you to start caring about this is when you have a lot of insulin, excess insulin floating around the body, insulin causes things to grow. It causes good things to grow in the body, which we want, like our muscles, so we can stay strong, and our cells, so they have energy. But it also causes other things to grow in the body when there's too much insulin floating around. So it can cause things like fibroids, like cysts, PCOS. It can cause things like cancer cells to grow. And so I don't want to scare you, but I want you to understand why this is my first video that I'm going to talk about. I want you to understand your hormones, and I want you to understand how insulin works in the body, because this is all reversible and this is all controllable. Even if you have diabetes right now and you're listening to this, or maybe you got some heart issues and just some fat issues, hormone issues, and you're listening to this for a reason. And we definitely can reverse these things. Now, one thing I did not know back, 8 years ago, no doctor, no oncologist ever once told us this, that insulin can feed cancer. Sugar can feed cancer cells. And so how I like to explain it with people is our cells naturally divide every single day, thousands of times a day. And sometimes those cells can have a mutation. They can have a disruption in proper cell division. And typically, if your body is healthy, your body can get rid of that. So you don't have to worry about it. But in a lot of people's cases, they have a lot of inflammation in the body and they have a lot of insulin floating around in the body. So for example, if you're PCOS, you have fibroids, you have a belly, you're insulin resistant. That's pre-diabetes. Okay, I just want you to know that first. If somebody has a bunch of excess insulin floating around in their body and inflammation, and you actually don't even have to be overweight, you can be thin, like how my late husband was. He was actually thin. That excess insulin can actually cause cells and tumors to grow. Especially interestingly, in the colon and in the breast tissue and in the prostate, you have extra insulin receptors. Interesting, right? Look at what the most common cancers are. Colon cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, right? Especially in the Western world. So this is why I want you to start caring about your insulin. So, okay, you're like, okay, Tash, this is depressing. What do I need to do? Right? So the starting point with everybody that I coach, let's start off by regulating your insulin levels. Okay, so how can you start regulating your insulin levels? Simple things, intermittent fasting. Simple things, if you're a perimenopause, menopause woman, doing things like getting bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, increasing your estrogen level is actually going to help you with your insulin levels. It's going to help you lose that belly fat. For the guys, making sure your testosterone levels are good. These are things you can go to your doctor for and just get blood work done. And if you're a doctor, you want to make sure you're working with a doctor that understands hormone replacement therapy and isn't old school and thinking that hormone replacement therapy causes cancer, because it's just not true. That's been completely debunked. I can do a video on that eventually. But that is going to be your starting point. The other thing is just working on your gut health, working on the inflammation in the body. Intermittent fasting is one of the simplest things that you can start doing today for free. That's going to help re-regulate your blood sugar level. Another thing that I really spend a lot of time helping my people do is re-regulating your stress cortisol. Nothing will age you faster than chronic high stress cortisol. You are constantly anxious. You are constantly stressed. You're constantly overthinking. You aren't sleeping properly, right? All of these things are going to have a cascade effect with your other hormones, including your insulin, babe. That's what's causing that stubborn belly fat. Another thing you can start doing, simple things, but we talked about hormone replacement therapy, we talked about intermittent fasting, going to bed on time, simple things that don't cost you anything. Another thing you want to take it to that next level, and this is what I'm going to be talking a lot more about, is peptide replacement therapy. This is why things like GLP-1s have become so popular. Tesamorelin, Sermorelin, Ipamorelin, all of these types of peptides actually help your body burn more fat easily. When GLPs first came out, I honestly was not a fan of them. the Ozempics and all that, because what I found is people were losing a lot of muscle, and you want to keep muscle on your body more than anything else, especially as you get older, for men and for women. So when you have rapid weight loss, a lot of times it's because you're losing that muscle. So what I'm a fan of is the new microdosing of GLPs. And the reason why is when you're able to just microdose with the GLPs, you're not going to have as many side effects. You're still going to get the fat burning effect, the benefits of the fat burning. You're still going to get the insulin regulating effects, which is the biggest thing. It's foundational to everything I teach. You're still going to get the appetite control, the emotional eating control. If you crave alcohol and you just tend to have a lot of emotional addictions, this can actually really help with that. It interferes with that dopamine reward pathway in the brain. So you're going to get the benefits of that without the muscle loss and without a lot of the nausea and those types of side effects. The only time you should never take a GLP-1 is if you have a history of thyroid cancer or a history of pancreatitis, which is most people don't have those things. So I'm not saying this is for everybody, but these are things that I want you to start educating yourself on. Another thing I want you to start paying attention to is, do you have bloating? Bloating, inflammation in the body, you got sore joints. Sore joints is a sign you got inflammation in the body. For women, if you have a sore shoulder in your perimenopause, menopause age group, I'm willing to bet it has more to do with low estrogen levels in your body, because estrogen is an anti-inflammatory. So when your estrogen levels tank, inflammation in the body increases. This is what puts women at risk, a disproportionate risk for heart attacks, for strokes, for Alzheimer's, for breast cancer, for other types of cancers, and for diabetes, for osteoporosis as well. This is why I believe all women should get their hormones checked and really have your finger on what your hormones are doing. If this is really overwhelming for you, I actually have a brand new community that I made it free for men and for women, where you can learn more about the stuff that I'm talking about. There's a lot of stuff I am not allowed to talk about on YouTube. I already had my other channel shadow banned for mentioning some things, so hopefully we'll see how this channel goes. But in my free community, you're going to learn a lot more about biohacking, peptide replacement therapy, hormone replacement therapy, gut optimization, lowering inflammation in the body, how to keep your skin tight and healthy, how to biologically, metabolically age in reverse, how to have more energy. All of those things that we want to have. Your best protection is actually keeping yourself biologically younger. So this is not superficial stuff that I'm teaching. Yes, we want to look and feel amazing, of course, but actually this is why you'll see people typically in their 20s don't develop cancer. Yes, of course, there's rare cases of people that develop cancer in their 20s, but typically they can recover from that. And it's just so much more rare compared to people that are older. So my mission, what I'm doing with my husband, is we're helping our people, our women and our men in our community, to biologically stay young as possible, because that is going to be your best defense against these diseases, these cancers, these diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, Alzheimer's, you just breaking down, feeling sore in your body, feeling slow, having that brain fog. You don't have to suffer anymore. We're in a completely different era right now. And the beautiful thing is, when you give your body the tools that it needs, it actually biologically reverses. Okay, so let me know what your comments are. Let me know if you have questions below, and jump into my free community where I can go deeper on this. I actually have a free masterclass coming up this Friday where I'm going to be helping coaching our people, our women and men, around the peptides, around GLPs, around a lot of things that I'm talking about today. Anyway, I love you.